Are you tired of appearing confident in front of everybody, but in the end of the day, you don't really feel as good about yourself and you feel really underconfident from within? I'm not here to attack you because I've been one of you. I've been there, done that. I faked it. I've a lot of the times faked my confidence until I was able to make it. And today I'm here to tell you how to actually cultivate real confidence. So Assalamu Alaikum, warahmatullahi, wabarakatuhu everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sayyidah Nisa and I love to talk about Islam, self-help and self-improvement. And if you're interested in any of those topics, then do consider subscribing to my channel for valuable content in the future, inshallah. Okay, without any further ado guys, let us get right into it. Guys, confidence isn't always about or confined to only appearing confident. Well, for example, if you look at the loudest girl in a room or the most fancy dressed girl in the room, then you might feel like she's the most confident. And well, yeah, actually, kudos to them because it takes a lot of guts to be the loudest in the room or to be the best dressed in the room. But that isn't the only metric that you need to be able to measure somebody's confidence. Confidence is something that you feel inside of yourself at your core, so that when you enter into a room, your confidence radiates. And that's the real kind of confidence. And today I will be teaching about it to you guys, inshallah. So today I will be sharing with you practical advices that you can apply to your life that will actually help you develop confidence from within yourself, so that wherever you enter, your confidence radiates from within. Because let us be honest, faking it and making it are two very different things. Before I get started, let me tell something about the faking it part. I believe that the reason why people fake it is because our brain does not know the difference between what is not real and between what is real. So if you tell your brain continuously that I am confident, and if you act that way too 24/7 wherever you go, then you know what? Your brain starts adapting to it. Like imagine how we're treated as kids really just forms an image in our minds as to how we're supposed to be treated in the future. And even if we try to change that, it's quite difficult, but it is possible, alhamdulillah. The same way, if you keep showing up as somebody that is confident, as somebody that is assertive, as somebody that is firm in their beliefs, that does not compromise on their integrity, then you actually start acting as that more. And the thing is that whatever is alien to us is what is unattainable and something that we haven't experienced before. So when you actually start becoming confident in who you really are, and you're familiar with it, and you show up as that every day, even if you struggle to be confident, even if you do have your moments when you fail to do so, it becomes a norm for you and it becomes familiar, and you start observing that in your environment as well, you're not treated as badly as you thought you were going to be treated. For all you know, actually being confident or appearing to be confident may have seemed to be a nightmare for you if you were not really confident earlier on. But now when you actually start faking it, you realize that you find your people too. You realize there's so many advantages to it too. And trust me, it's always the best on the other side of the line. When you have actually crossed your boundaries that were limited by fear, hesitation, by nervousness, and actually become your confident self, it's always good to have achieved the latter. And that's why it can be helpful. But in the end of the day, just pretending to be confident 24/7 isn't enough for you to tell your body that you're enough, to own up to your body and to be confident in your entire self from within, even in the times when people are not around you, even at the times when people are against you, even at the times when people might not be seeming to give you validation to make you feel confident again. And the tips that I'm going to be giving you are exactly the ones that will help you in the times when people cannot help you. And sabse pehle, Allah will help you. So let us take a moment and acknowledge the fact that we have to make prayers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to make du'as to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever we want. So if you want to become confident, firstly, start asking Allah for it. And trust me, He will grant you that. Okay, number one, invest in self-care. Okay, whenever you invest your money into a company as the investor, literally what happens is that your money becomes a valuable asset in the company's balance sheet. And you become the shareholder of the company, which is that you will get part of the profit of that company. So basically, when you invest your money into a company, before that, you might not even have anything to do with the company. Before you decided that this is the company that I'll invest my money in, you might not even care how that company is doing. But the moment you start investing in that company, you might actually start becoming more aware of the profits or the losses of the company. You might be concerned with the company's performance. You might want and wish for the company to do well. You might be rooting for the company, and as you should. The same way, if you invest in yourself, eventually your brain will understand that that this body, this person is valuable. And that is why if any part of this body or this body itself or this mind itself is being taken care of. So the psychology behind investing in yourself to feel better, it's because it does give you returns. And the returns that it does give you is your brain starts believing that you're valuable, that you're taking care of your hair. For example, if you take care of your hair, your brain starts believing that it is valuable, and that's why it has to be taken care of. When you take care of your body, your brain starts believing that it has to be taken care of, it is valuable. This self-care has to be done when nobody is around you, not a single person. Self-care such as applying face masks at least once a week, applying hair masks at least once a week, taking your regular showers, maintaining basic hygiene, and dressing up also. The thing is that dressing up is individual to each and every one of us. Like, if I want to dress up a certain way, I will do it, and I will represent who I really am with that. So my dress complements and adds to who I am. And when I walk into a room, of course, people are going to see my appearance before they see actually what is inside of my mind or what I'm going to be saying. And so the way I treat myself, if I dress well, if I take care of myself, people will look at me and be like, oh, this person values themselves because they think they are special. Not just is it that your brain that ends up believing it, but also the people around you. They'll have a look at you and they'll be like, this person feels like they're worthy of putting so much time into actually dressing up. So if they think that they're worthy of dressing up, actually, they might be worthy of good time too. They might be worthy of my time. And of course, what has to follow up next is how you speak, is how you perform, is whatever happens next, right? And that is what brings me to the next point. Start working on what is inside. Start working on your thoughts. Start taking therapy to get to know who you are if you have had certain traumas. Start studying yourself, because you can never be confident in something that you are not fully aware of. If I have anxiety and if I don't own up to it, then of course I'm going to be ashamed of it, and I'm going to be afraid of even entering into a room, and I'm going to judge myself before everybody else judges me. But if I'm like, yeah, I have anxiety and I know how to manage it, and I've come a long way and I'm in my learning process, and even if it does stop me, even if it does become my barrier, it's not eventually going to stop me from achieving my full potential. It's not going to stop me from showing up as my best self. It is a part of me, and I'm managing it, and we are a work in progress and a work of art at the same time, right? Enough. Very important. Stop being emotionally attached or dependent on one person. And I know I keep saying this in most of my videos, just be detached to everyone. Don't make one person your source of comfort. Don't depend emotionally on one person. And the reason I keep saying that is how it's also related to confidence, is that the moment you depend on somebody for your happiness, for example, for me, literally today, I had a tiff with a family member of mine, and that family member is really close to me, so I had a tiff with them. So on my way back home, when I went to a cafe, I literally entered into a cafe like a skeleton. What do I mean? Like this. All depressed and sad and sorrowful. Because all that was going in my mind was how I was abasing my value at that point in time in the conversation I had with that person. And then the cafe that I went to, like, one of the baristas in that cafe is literally my friend. Generally I would greet her, I would interact with her, I'd order something. I was fasting anyways. But this time I didn't do any of that. I just went in the cafe, I sat like, again, a skeleton, and then I went out of the cafe. You know what I did that time was self-sabotage. I let one equation of mine that is closer to me decide my other equations. Because that barista is my friend, I should have gone up to her and greeted her. And Sarah Al-Madani very rightly said in one of her podcasts, in fact she says this a lot in her videos, I really love her, you guys should really check out her content and take the kind of advices that align with our Islamic values, guys. So she said that we can actually decide whenever we want to feel happy or sad. We really have more control on our emotions than we think we do. For example, the ideal thing that I should have done was, I was getting the stress hormone coming out of my body, which is cortisol, after I had the tiff with my family member. So when I went to the cafe, I could have decided to make the dopamine, which is the happy hormone in my body, get released by interacting with that barista, because she's generally really kind to me. But what I chose to do instead was go isolate myself, because I thought that I deserved silent treatment. And I wasted an opportunity to actually go and derive dopamine hormone and feel better and interact with someone to actually feel better, to actually not feel as lonely, to not be lonely even if I'm outside of my house, and to actually interact with like a friend. And I would have been able to experience happiness and those emotions not as intensely, but of affection and kindness and friendliness over again, which would have again familiarized me to that very emotion. So that would have made me understand that what is it that I'm seeking. It's not affection from one particular person, but I'm seeking affection in general, and I deserve it. And the people that know how to connect to other people instead of being attached to them know that it's always the emotion that you go after. See, A person in two months could make you feel like a person in 2 years couldn't. You should always choose the people that make you feel the best about yourself. And that's one of the major signs of self-love. You choose the people that make you feel the best about yourself. And that taught me something very important. And that is, opportunities do not wait for you to feel better. Literally, opportunities like come to you at your toughest moments. Sometimes maybe when you're depressed, when you think you're depressed or anxious or not ready for it. See, your opportunities don't need you. You need them. So act that way. Grab hold of the opportunities the moment they come. You feel like you enter into a room and you want to socialize with someone, make new friends, literally walk up to them and do so. Not in a state of desperation, because again, it's not the person you're chasing, but it's the opportunity. And when you're chasing the opportunity of talking to a person, even if it does not turn out to be an ideal interaction, you learn from that. Your mindset is always, what do I learn from this? Not, oh, how embarrassing that was. Oh, that person didn't even look at me. Oh, that person didn't even talk to me. That's not what we're chasing either. We're chasing opportunity to be able to get rid of our own limited mindsets, which is fear and shame, and the mindset that what is others thinking of me. One of the major reasons for depression, I believe, because I thought I had a face when I was actually depressed, it wasn't really that. I was just feeling like really lonely, and I was cutting myself off from the world. I, myself, was engaging in self-sabotage. Every day I was waking up late, I was not socializing with people, I was not forming connections, I was not actually working towards releasing dopamine in my body, which is the happy hormone. And of course, then that time you will be depressed because you're not consciously taking efforts to make yourself happy. Instead, you have decided that this is a reality for yourself and you want to be confined by that reality. And trust me, when I was in that phase, if somebody would have said this to me, I would have wanted to literally not listen to them. That's the best I can say right now. But you know what? When I've come out of it, this is my learning, guys. So I don't want to be insensitive to somebody that is going through it, but trust me, give this a try. Try talking to people, try socializing, and never ever ever give up on the humankind and what the humans can benefit you with just because of even 100 interactions going wrong. What is that? The world has 8 billion people and you're just upset because 100 people didn't like you? So what? Rest 8 billion people really can, okay? And not everybody has to like you. If Allah is happy with you, that is enough. Happiness is a choice. It is really important to tell yourself when you're feeling depressed or anxious or lonely or any of the negative emotions, low vibrational emotions, shame, a lot of those emotions. It is important to get yourself out of that by taking action, by consciously actually trying to do something that makes you feel better. It is replenishing your soul by talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then it could be talking to someone that is close to you, that is ready to hear you out. It can be journaling. It can be taking out that emotion and knowing that you're not deserving of the negative emotion that you've been feeling for a really long period of time. If I'm telling you that, actually go and interact with a barista or whatever, to cure your social anxiety, I'm not telling you to fake it, because even if you're feeling everything in you telling you, hey, I just don't feel like, you could really just still do it, and then you realize how normal it is. So the thing with faking it is that you try things. It's basically not even faking it. Basically, you're trying to be something that you actually want to be. Because where do you think the trying comes from? It is in you. That's why you're trying for it, right? And if you're able to sustain it, alhamdulillah, congratulations to you. I literally applaud you because you've been trying for it. This mosquito, you need to try consciously to go talk to people, new people, interact, socialize. And you know what will happen when you do that? You'll actually realize that people are not as scary as you imagine them to be. They're not as limited as you thought they were, and even if they're flawed, which we all are, you're more accepting of it. For example, if somebody that you're related to has narcissistic tendencies and you meet people around in the world and you do find such narcissistic tendencies to be in other people as well, you realize it's a commonality. It's just them issue. It's not me issue. But when there's somebody that's really close to you, that's your only connection or only love, that's behaving a certain way with you, you end up defining your own value and your worth based on how they treat you, while they themselves need help. But when you're interacting with a whole bunch of people, connecting with different people, and not really attaching yourself to how they treat you and trying to read them and read their behaviors, you will understand that they're all flawed. And then that makes humans less dangerous species to interact with, right? And that's also what makes you confident. Inshallah, I'll come up with more parts of this. That is it for this video. If you did like this video, do hit the like button. Share this video to somebody that you think might need to watch this right now. And also subscribe to my channel for more such videos in the future, inshallah. Until next time, take care, guys. Make sure you do a lot of zikr in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. And remember me in your prayers, and I'll remember you in mine. Inshallah, until next time, Allah Hafiz, fi aman Allah.